Hi, welcome back to our live stream. And we did this like last week, and this is our first live stream for the week. And our topic for today is a hot topic. It's about AI and the bottleneck bridge. So most of us, those who are non-native English speakers, you normally have this common problem, like a bottleneck problem. It's like, sorry, it's like when you are trying to say something, your knowledge is 4K, so you are the expert. But when it comes to choosing the right words, you freeze. So that's a common problem. So with the help of I believe AI is very helpful and it's like a co-pilot. So I'm not against AI. I believe it's a great tool. However, you should not depend on it too much. And as we say here, AI is your drafting buddy and not your voice. So you have the logic, you have the expertise. You might be like an IT consultant, you can be like a doctor, or you might be working in the hospitality industry. And some of our students, they are from the logistics and shipping industry. So you have the expertise. So you are very knowledgeable in your field. But it takes 2 hours for you to package a simple message. So I experienced this. I was a I was a supervisor in an outsourcing company. So we take care of customer service for different businesses. And I noticed that most of the agents there or the staff, they are very intelligent. They know how to describe the problem or address the issue, but it takes them 2 hours to come up with a single paragraph. And that's a real pain if you are in that situation. So you might be someone from Japan and English is not your native language, someone from uh, Europe, maybe Ukraine or Mexico. So you have this common struggle. So it takes you 2 hours to compose a good paragraph. And that's why we use AI these days in order for you to have that co pilot or assistant. Number two, you use AI to turn technical brain dumps into executive summary. So I'm going to show that to you. Okay. So I'm going to show you how we prompt. And number three, you provide the strategy, AI provides the syntax. So you have all the, the techniques and strategies in your mind, but AI helps you arrange the words in a coherent way or very understandable way. And I'll be showing you examples later. So, what is a data dump? So, I experienced this. Once you have a data dump, you have these bullet points. So, maybe in a meeting, you're trying to take notes of all the details. So, maybe if you're talking about logistics, you take note of the processes. Like you would like to streamline those processes and make it simpler. So you take notes. You have bullet points, and you can put those data into AI and help you come up with a very useful summary, and it decreases the cognitive load or overthinking. Example, step one, you tell your AI buddy, I'm speaking to a VP or a vice president. Here are my raw notes on the port error. So make this sound authoritative and result focused. So again, I'm a bit biased with IT, but later on, I'm going to use an example, give you an example, like for example, you're in healthcare. Okay, so we we will shift to that industry today. Step two: review the output of the outcome that AI gave you. Does it match your rhythm? And you check the way you speak, your speaking style. And number three, step three is read it out loud. So if it doesn't sound like you, it's not ready. So you should inject your own personality when using this tool. Maybe I can show you a quick example so you will have an idea you're going to use how are we going to use AI. So you know the website, that's chat.openai.com. Okay, so it's autocomplete. Okay, so let's say you are a doctor. You are a Thai or Japanese doctor or a European doctor. So English is not your mother language. So you tell AI to help you deliver a news to a patient. Let's say your patient is from UK or the US. So you say, I am a doctor, but English is not my first language. How do I deliver a news to a patient saying they have a genetic disorder? For example, genetic disorder. Acromegaly. Right. So let's see. So let's make it bigger. You're asking exactly the right question. How we say this matters as much as what we say. Okay, so I stand corrected. So it says acromegaly is not a genetic disorder. Okay, benign tumor. Okay, so how will you say that? A general structure for delivering simple English script. Okay, so it will give you the tips. So according to to the result, it says you need to use the spike style simplified. I believe there's a meaning for each letter here. So you need to prepare the patient, give the diagnosis clearly, explain in simple terms, pause and check understanding, offer reassurance and next steps. Okay. So look at this. I have the results on your tests. Some of the results are serious, so I want to explain them carefully. So you try to assess, does this sound like you? If not, you can ask uh, the AI to make it simpler and to make it sound more friendly or something like that. So step two, you have a condition called acromegaly. And stop for a moment, let it land. Acromegaly happens when the body makes too much growth hormone. Yeah. So I remember in the university, my biology teacher in genetics, they discussed acromegaly, and it's like you never stop growing. So imagine like you're already 40 or 30 years old and your fingers are still getting longer, your ears are getting longer. So that's scary. In most cases, this is caused by a small non-cancerous tumor in the pituitary gland, which is a gland in the brain. So reassure. Okay. So you say this is not cancerous, or it is a serious condition, but it is treatable. So that's what's important. Okay. So you say that there's hope. You don't just become overly negative. Okay. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Or would you like me to explain anything again in a different way? Okay. In your case, the test suggests there might be a genetic reason for this condition. This means a change in a gene may have increased the risk of developing acromegaly. I believe it's pronounced as acromegaly or acrom. You can check that. Not this does not mean you did anything wrong. It does not always mean your family members will have the same problem, but we may recommend genetic counseling. All right. So there are tips from AI which may say that don't say these. Okay, so what are the phrases that I cannot say? You can ask it like, can you make it shorter and simpler? Yeah, okay. So I have your test results. You have a condition called acromegaly. This means your body makes too much growth hormone. In most cases, this is caused by a small, non cancerous tumor in a gland in the brain. This is not cancer. So it is a serious condition, but it can be treated. Do you have any questions? Right. So you see, uh, AI can help you go to the right direction, but you are still the driver. Okay. So that's how you use it. You can use it in your industry. So, for example, you are in hospitality. You can say, I need I need to tell something to my supervisor or to my manager, and I don't know how to say it properly or politely in English. So maybe you have a supervisor from the West, an American, or from the UK, from Germany, or any other Western country, or a native speaker, and you'd like to tell this, you need to provide a summary about your meeting. Okay, so you can use AI as your co pilot. The other day, I watched a video and I learned that Microsoft Copilot, so it works best for businesses. So if you're a CEO or you're a business owner and you have everything in your Microsoft account or Microsoft Teams. So inside your Microsoft Teams, you have your balance sheet or the data of your business. Once you ask Copilot, it's easier because you don't need to copy and paste those data to the other platform. So Copilot has an access to your business data, so it's easier to brainstorm. Anyway, that's just on the business side. It's not about English, but just just to give you an idea. So if you're a CEO, you can use it that way. Okay, so don't lose your authority to an algorithm. Too much AI sounds robotic, wordy, and too perfect. Sometimes if something is too perfect, even if it's a design, if the measurements are too aligned, sometimes it loses its charm. Did you notice that? So sometimes it's like that. If your words are so perfect, you don't pause. So you sound like a robot. There's no inflection, right? Like the rise of your tone and downward tone, you don't have the up talk when asking questions. So you lose trust if you sound like an AI. So our way, we use AI to find the words, then use strategic pausing to deliver them. So you use the flagpole technique, like what we talked about in the past. So you try to pause and deliver, like deliver the point and let that sink in. So it's a speaking technique. So what's the result? The speed of AI plus authority of a human leader. So you treat it as an assistant or a co pilot, not to represent you. All right. So, to understand it like deeply, it's like you are the driver, so you have the steering wheel, and AI is like your GPS. So, before you start the engine, before you step on the gas, you take a look at the GPS so you know where you are going. But you are still the driver. So, for example, you are doing a research paper or a proposal. Humans still have the intuition. So, that's why you have a coach or an advisor. So, they have the intuition. AI can only give you the citation or of your research, the citation of your research. So, GPS, so it points you to the right direction. So, it can give you it can tell you where did you make the mistakes, but having a coach is like we know the context, we know patterns. So for 15 years, 16 years that we've been doing coaching and teaching, we know the patterns, and we can tell you based on our experience. So this is a trend. So we know that this is how you correct this speech impediment, for example. So if you have a problem pronouncing letter R and letter L, so you don't know the difference. So we teach you how to avoid that. So there are hacks and techniques that only a human coach can provide or coach you with. And that's why in the English crew, we're going to invite four more partners. So I partnered with four coaches, and we're going to do the live webinar and workshop this coming March 7th or 8th. So stay tuned, okay? In our future live stream, I'm going to announce the the process on how you register to that webinar or web uh, like the conference or the workshop. And if you are serious with your English proficiency and you would like to improve your speaking style, don't forget to book your 15 to 45-minute audit with me. Okay. So I can schedule you for a 15-minute. So take advantage while it's still free, because in the future, I'm sure the slots will be hard to book. So after that workshop next month, March 7th or March 8th, I'm sure we're going to be fully booked. So book it now. And if you have requests, like any topic that you would like me to discuss or talk about, just feel free to send us a message. You don't forget to go to our website. That's www.thenglishcrew.com/contact, or you can just comment it in the comment section. So we are multi-streaming every week on YouTube and Facebook. So you can reach out via YouTube comments or Facebook comments or DM or direct message. All right. So I'll see you in the next one.